All right, thanks for joining me. Today's question is, isn't moderation the best strategy? Now, if you've ever said this to yourself or had someone say this to you, what they're saying is, and what you might be saying is, I am not committed to a particular lifestyle of health. Let's say this generally comes up when people are discussing being vegan or vegetarian or cutting out meat. You know, the people who are opposed to it or reluctant to will always say, well, a little bit of meat won't hurt me, or a little bit of wine won't hurt me, or MSG once in a while won't hurt me, or, if I only eat at fast food restaurants once a week or so. So they say, I believe in moderation. What they're actually saying is, I don't have the courage or the discipline or the willpower or the desire to change my habits, but I want to be able to tell myself something that will make me feel as if I'm doing something healthy. And that thing is, putting balance in your life. And it sounds good. It sounds good, except that in my way of thinking, there is no moderate amount of poison. If I have discovered that MSG is a poison, if I have discovered that alcohol is a poison, if I have discovered that smoking is a poison, and now I understand there are people who are addicted and there are physiological cravings that are really difficult to overcome. But if you have the ability and the choice, which a lot of us do in modern society, once I find out that something is poison, I don't want to consume it moderately. I am not that addicted to food and taste, and maybe that's and that definitely does differ by person. But my health is more important to me. So you may call it extremism. You may feel better saying that he's an extremist or fanatic, and I'm into moderate consumption. And my grandfather ate pork once a week, and he lived to be 98 years old or whatever. So whatever you tell yourself is fine. Whatever gets you through the night. But in my way of looking at things, there is no moderate amount of poison that I'm going to allow into my body. So I don't rely on that concept, and I don't believe in that concept of moderation in that regard. Sure, in other things, it might be advisable, but it's really just a crutch that people use because they are too weak to commit to what they perceive as an extreme course of action. And to a lot of people, it is extreme given the predominance of that behavior in society. So if it's a meat-centric society, then for you to tell the world that you are not eating meat, then that's considered fanatic. But there are some of us who believe this in this way, that moderation is not a strategy. It's basically just an excuse and a crutch that weak people use. And I'm sure I'm going to get some comments, or I hope I get some comments on that. But just the thought I wanted to put out there that you can tell yourself that, you can pull the wool over your eyes, but in truth, it's just your desire to want to continue a destructive lifestyle, but still feel good about it by claiming moderation, which very few people will argue with outside of this channel. So just something to think about. If you're using moderation as a crutch, then just be aware of what it is you're doing. Some of us don't believe you, won't buy into it, and won't support that as an excuse to not take your health more seriously and live a more natural life in this increasingly unnatural world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.